Every film is a delicate balance of plot, setting, and character. And it's intriguing to see how easily this balance can be toppled by a single, unappealing character. It's not like they are not likable, it's just that they are kind of irritating sometimes, or most of the time. Anakin Skywalker. Young Anakin was supposed to be the chosen one, destined to bring balance to the Force. Instead, we got a whiny teenager who made terrible decisions and had cringe-worthy romantic dialogues. Hayden Christensen didn't entirely deserve the flack he received, as the script certainly didn't do him any favors. But unfortunately, he became the poster boy for the less beloved parts of George Lucas's prequels.
Who could have done this?
Bella Swan. Even though Kristen Stewart's Bella was supposed to be the relatable girl next door, her continuous indecisiveness between Edward and Jacob, combined with her ever-pervasive morose demeanor, was more irritating than endearing. Perhaps we were too harsh on her. After all, choosing between a centuries-old vampire and a wolf with anger issues is no easy task.
I'm designed to kill.
I don't care.
I've killed people before.
It does not matter.
John Connor. The future savior of humankind was expected to be a complex character, but his portrayal by Christian Bale was notably flat. Yes, Bale is an acclaimed actor with a hefty body of work behind him, but his version of John Connor was a symphony of scowls and grimaces rather than an engaging hero.
Bravo 10, do you copy? Over.
Here!
Bravo 10, identify, over.
Connor!
We'll send units to the extraction point. How many survivors are on site, over?
One.
Jar Binks. It would be a disservice not to mention this notorious Gungan. Jar Jar was meant to provide comic relief in the Star Wars prequels, but he ended up eliciting more groans than giggles. His unique style of speech, combined with his clumsy antics, is firmly imprinted on our collective memory for all the wrong reasons.
I'll survive on our own.
Excuse me.
Must have Jedi reflexes if you race past. Don't do that again.
Iris. Winsome and full of charm, Kate Winslet is hard to dislike, yet her character Iris in The Holiday managed to test our affections. Her perpetual moping and inability to move on from an unrequited love felt more tedious than romantic. Yes, love can be complicated, but Iris seemed to enjoy wallowing in self-pity more than seeking a resolution.
I was, seeing someone back in London. We worked for the same newspaper. And then I found out that he was also seeing this other girl, Sarah, from the circulation department on the 19th floor. Turned out that he wasn't in love with me.
Andy. Played by the lovely Kate Hudson, magazine writer Andy takes on the challenge to make a man break up with her in 10 days for an article. While her ridiculous antics are meant to be humorous, they veer into annoyingly manipulative territory. Even though she's the heroine, Andy leaves the audience questioning her morals.
Oh, you are already falling in love with me.
I'm gonna make you wish you were dead. Poor guy.
Will Turner. Orlando Bloom's character, while meant to be the moral compass in the whirlwind of Jack Sparrow's chaotic charm, ended up being rather tiresome. His incessant righteousness felt overly rehearsed, leaving audiences longing for more of Johnny Depp's entertaining unpredictability.
Jack, Elizabeth is in danger. I need that compass of yours, Jack. I must trade it for her freedom.
Lex Murphy. The high-pitched screams and constant state of panic are somewhat understandable given the T-Rex size situation, but Ariana Richards' Lex still managed to test our patience. Her refusal to remain quiet despite the life-threatening stakes turned the would-be sympathetic character into a grating presence. Sam Witwicky. Shia LaBeouf's character is meant to be the relatable everyman amongst a battalion of transforming robots. But his constant yelling, flailing, and generally manic behavior makes it hard to connect with him. Sam serves more as a distraction from the awe-inspiring Autobots and Decepticons, rather than enhancing our investment in their world.
Easy. You're not gonna get it started that way.
Well, I'm just getting ready. You know, I'm about 32% done with my restoration.
Pepper Potts. Don't get us wrong, Gwyneth Paltrow's Pepper is a smart, capable woman, but her tendency to serve as the nagging counterpart to Tony Stark's reckless genius can get rather frustrating. While it's understandable she's concerned for Tony, the character occasionally feels less like a three-dimensional person and more like a plot device to instill some sense into Stark. It's hard to root for someone who spends most of her screen time scolding our favorite genius billionaire playboy philanthropist.
Are you okay?
Yeah. Were you heading for me or him?
I was trying to scare him.
I can't tell.
Why are you out of your mind?
Better security.
Get in the car!
I was attacked! I need better security.
Get in the car!
You're CEO, better security budget. God, it's embarrassing.
Katniss Everdeen. It's hard to criticize Jennifer Lawrence's portrayal of Katniss. She certainly did the best she could with the script. However, the character's brooding nature and constant flip-flopping between Gale and Peeta, rather than saving her own skin in a deathmatch, rubbed many fans the wrong way. It's a post-apocalyptic world, Katniss. Maybe it's time to focus on survival?
Do convince me. For the sake of your loved ones.
Arthur. Joseph Gordon-Levitt's character is supremely competent at what he does, but his role often reduces to that of the straight man in a team of fascinating characters. He is more a component of exposition and conflict resolution than a character with whom the audience can connect. We were supposed to admire Arthur, but we were left more curious about his eccentric teammates. Skyler White. While not a movie character, Skyler from the iconic TV series Breaking Bad earns a spot on this list solely because how hated she was by the fandom. Skyler's role as the moral compass to Walter White's descent into crime was necessary, but she often comes across as a nagging obstacle rather than a supportive spouse. While her concerns are valid, her methods and constant disapproval make her one of the most divisive characters on the show. The role played by Anna Gunn became a lightning rod for viewer frustration.
You? Yes, you. May I talk to you?
Nope, not interested. Come on.
Hey, don't touch me. My brother-in-law is a DEA agent, and I will not hesitate to call him. Not if I have to. Understood? This is your one.
Rachel. Played by Maggie Gyllenhaal in the second film of Christopher Nolan's Batman trilogy, Rachel is intended as the heart of the story, but her character often falls flat, serving more as a source of conflict between Batman and Harvey Dent than as a standalone character. Her forced love triangle makes her a frustrating presence in an otherwise captivating narrative.
Bruce, don't make me your one hope for a normal life.
Did you mean it?
Yes.
Scott Pilgrim. Intended as a quirky hero for the indie crowd, Michael Cera's Scott ends up being a selfish, indecisive character who doesn't treat his romantic interests well. While we're supposed to cheer for him, it's hard to root for a character who mistreats the people who care about him.
What about you and that girl Knives? Who broke up with who?
I believe I broke up with her.
And was she cool with that?
Knives is with young Neil now. She's totally cool with it.
You sure about that?
Yeah, she's very mature for her age. We had a very healthy breakup. We're all peaches and gravy.
What about you and Kim?
And Kim? I can barely remember. It was high school. She had freckles.
That's it?